Hello, it is me, Hannah Jacob, and I'm here today to teach you graphic design for kids ministry, how to go from clunky designs to clean designs. Some of the design principles I'm going to teach in this session are specifically for creating things for kids or for the leaders who are in kids ministry. And so I will be diving you through this. And before we begin, I just want you to ask yourself, what's your skill level? Maybe you're at a skill level 1 where you're just writing emails or buying things. Maybe you have a better grasp on computers and you're writing things in Microsoft Word or in Google Docs. Maybe you're a designer and you love making things in Canva. Most high schoolers nowadays are supposed to be making things in Canva all the time. So if you're at a skill set 1 or 2, but you want lots of things made for your kids ministry, ask one of the high schoolers to come alongside you and start making things maybe. And you can take this recording and send it to them so that way they know some principles for designing for kids and kids ministry. Also, the last level here is level 4 for Adobe programs. If that is your skill level, then great. You probably won't need this, but you're welcome to stay or you're welcome to hop onto a different workshop instead. So please write in the comments or in the chat box, wherever it is, where your skill level is currently. Feel free to just write the number even. Let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Hannah. I was a missionary in Japan for 7 years. I have 20 years of experience in kids' church. I have been doing graphic design for about 12 years. I've been married for 12 years to a wonderful husband who is insanely supportive. And I also have 3 kids. Their ages are 10, 8, and 4. I have helped serve in international missions with missionaries that are in Italy and in Japan. And I'm super excited because next month I get to take my kids on their first mission trip and we will be taking them to Mexico. So I'm excited and expect the best. Today, in this little workshop that we're going to be doing, our goal is for me to teach you how to create cleaner graphics with less clutter and clunk and junk, focusing on what's important. That's the goal for these cleaner graphics. The second goal is for us to work smarter. I want to teach you things so that way in kids ministry, you can spend less time on a device and more time with people, whether those people are the kids in your home, the kids in your ministry, or the family that's around you. The last thing is to focus on creating not for the purpose of looking great and having our ministry look so streamlined and professional, but no, the goal here is to create for our Creator. God is such a creative God, and He has given us the ability to be made in His image and to also create things like He did. Now, we can't create from scratch. That's His skill entirely. But we can create things that will bring Him glory. So I pray that this workshop today helps you bring more glory to God. So before we get into it, let's play a game. What does your brain process first? So get your fingers ready in the comments or feel free to have a pencil, paper, and pen. Shout it out loud to yourself. What does your brain process when you see this? Maybe green, circle, good, go. What about this? Red, stop, bad, circle, this. We have healthy, green. Maybe if you don't like vegetables, you're saying yuck. Or if you love vegetables, you're saying yum, strong, whatever it is. What about this one? Hungry, eating, meal, happy, excited. What about this? It's a red yes. So it's a mixed message. Is it no? Or is it yes? Well, it's like all in caps yes, but it's red. So kind of tricky there. This one here, it's a green no, lowercase. No, maybe not enthusiastic, lowercase, nope. The reason why I did this with you is because our brains can process color and pictures in about 13 milliseconds. Word recognition, being able to read those words, takes about 150 to 200 milliseconds to process. And so this shows us that in kids ministry, we got to think colors first, pictures second, words last. And this is important because not all the kids in our kids ministry are reading yet. But when they're about 2 years old, they can recognize colors and they can start to recognize pictures. Their language is developing, so they're not reading yet, but they're understanding words a bit better. So between the ages of 2 to 5, focus heavily on colors and pictures because they're not reading just yet. Maybe they're recognizing their own name if they're a lot on the older side, but focus on those colors and pictures heavily. As they start to learn to read, with the grades kindergarten to third grade, these kids are learning to read at school. From third grade to about sixth grade, they're reading to learn. So that's why I definitely encourage anybody who designs for kids ministry to think in pictures and colors, prioritize those things first, and words last. Now, another trait to go from clunky to clean is you want to remember placement. There's a lot going on in this flyer. This was a flyer to try to encourage people to volunteer in kids ministry at my church. And since we process color and pictures faster than words in graphic design or interior design, where we place those things are important as well. So I want you to work in a rule of 3. No more than 3 fonts, no more than 3 pictures, definitely no more than 3 colors, and placement. That's definitely a priority there. As far as colors go in this flyer, I have 3 colors: white, green, and black. Now, if I really wanted to stand something out, something that was super important, I would maybe change the color of the flag down below to maybe have it pop so that people look at that section. But I don't really want them to look there. I want them to look at the 414 window. So that's a pretty big one. All right, words, fonts, and cursive. Let's continue on. This is just a flyer I made about missions, letting parents know that they're not a piggy bank. I wanted them to get the message. I have this flyer for you for free later. Let's continue on. Let's talk fonts, okay? I want you for fonts to use 2 main fonts and maybe a complementary font to stand out if you need to bring attention to something like "You're doing great." So here I have 3 fonts. I have Alexandria as the title, Garrett as the body, and down below where it says "You're doing great," the font is Lazy Dog. Another thing, let's talk cursive. Should you use it? Well, let's answer these questions. Are you designing something for kids? Yes? Then don't use cursive. Well, if the answer is no, are you designing for an international church? The answer is yes, don't use cursive. Reason why is because when people are learning English as a second language, they're not going to go and learn cursive off the bat. They're going to learn print and that sort of thing. Same thing for me. When I moved to Japan, I didn't learn traditional calligraphy first. I learned print first in Japanese, and then I moved on to recognize cursive way later. So if you're designing something for kids, no, maybe it's for adults, I recommend to use it sparingly. So let's incorporate all these things that I said previously about the placement of 3s and all that. So here I have a worksheet, a packet that I gave for parents who are searching for a new church. I put in some rules of 3s. I didn't use a lot of pictures because who is this for? It's for parents. It's not for kids. So I wanted to pull in a little less color, a little less pictures, and it focuses heavily on words. I basically have a rule of 3 on each page right there. And then the next thing I have, this is a packet. Who's it for? It's for volunteers, for adult volunteers. Maybe they're teenagers or what, but honestly, this was something I created for other kids ministry leaders so that way they can organize and strategize how their kids ministry functions. So that way when they get volunteers, they utilize them to their volunteers' best abilities. So I have a picture in the top corner. Right away, I know that's a volunteer form because I have them high-fiving, and the rest focuses heavily on words and a lot of placement and organization. So next one right here, this form, who's it for? Well, the one on the left, it's actually for kids. They could be younger kids, they could be older kids. It's for them. And the form on the right is for volunteers to explain how that craft functions. Now, this is a really fun craft, an Enoch craft. It focuses a lot on light bouncing, because when you dip the plastic baggie into some water, Enoch disappears. So it went really well, but I had to explain the step-by-step process. So I used a lot of photos because, like I said, our brains process color and pictures first. So step 1 is bust out some crayons, color it. Step 2, put it in a bag. Step 3, Sharpie the outside tracing. Anything that's in gray, you Sharpie. And step 4, there's actually, for the older kids, there's a way for them to copy the verse. I nix this for the younger kids. That way, they can just have a bit more fun. And then they test it out at the end. They ziplock it shut. dunk it into a little tub of water, and Enoch disappears. It went great. Now, to explain this for a volunteer, had in our curriculum page where I would write out all the steps as well. Clunky to clean. I really want you guys to focus on something with this. Here's my question. Making stuff. Should you make stuff or should you just buy a template online? When it comes to flyers, should you make it or should you buy it? Well, my question to you is, how much does it cost to buy this flyer template? If you love it and it's less than $5 and you want to buy it, buy it. If it's more than $5, my question is, well, how much will it cost you to make this flyer instead of buying it? If it's a $10 flyer, but it'll take you under 30 minutes to make it, I would just make it. If it's going to take you more than 1 hour to design it, buy it. Save yourself that time. Spend time on people more than devices if you can, as much as you can. This is an example I have is that at my previous church, we had about 400 preschoolers weekly. They're between the ages of 2 to kindergarten, so like 2 to 5 or 6 years old. We wanted to do a Fishers of Men craft. We wanted them to make a fish so they could pretend was swimming. We made a fish windsock. It was way easy for me to make this because I know a lot of the Japanese koi fish designs. So I went into Canva and I made this thing in like under an hour, and I knew it was gonna like be awesome for the kids. So making it this time made a difference. Now I sell this template on Etsy for $1. I'm going to give it to you for free today. But if it costs $1 on Etsy, should somebody just purchase it? I think so, because $1 is not going to break anyone's bank and it's going to save them time and they're going to be able to spend time on those kids in their ministry more. Here's another example. We want to make binoculars for the kids. Problem is we have 400 kids, which means we're going to need 800 toilet paper rolls. That was not enough time to do that. Also, to purchase 800 toilet paper rolls was going to be a lot of money. So instead, I created a way to take a half sheet of letter paper, roll it in and staple it, and then you have binoculars. So in this case, it was cheaper to make it than it was to buy it. Now, same thing. I sell this template for like $1 on Etsy, but I'm going to give it to you for free at the end. So hang tight. We're going to keep going. Another thing too is, as far as going from clunky to clean in kids ministry, what should you make and what should you buy and alter? Because not every template you see will be the one that you want for your kids ministry. And so similar to, the questions I asked before, let's go through this. So, this is an example of something that I altered. There was a Jonah and the whale craft that was awesome. I remember doing this where you color the outside of the whale with crayon, and then Jonah was on a second page behind it. You take a cotton swab, dunk it in a little bit of vegetable oil, and then lightly brush on top of that whale's stomach, and it would reveal Jonah inside his belly praying. It was awesome. I just remembered it. It was so cool, and the kids loved it. So I altered that craft to design something like this, which is a heart and oil craft for our David lesson, talking about how God chose David. And we focused on the verse where the prophet Samuel is going, God, I don't think this guy's the one. And we have the verse written on the bottom right there where it's after where the little girl's at. It says, God does not look at the same way people do. People look at the outside of a person, but the Lord looks at the heart. And so that comes from 1 Samuel chapter 16. So we took that concept and applied it to seeing through to this person's heart. Went awesome. So what should you use graphics for your kids' ministry? You should use it for all of these right here. You should use it for toy organization. You see the picture example? They have a picture of the toy that's inside, and then words are nice and small down below. That way, when it comes to cleanup time, there's no mystery in where these things go. I have this at my house for my kids. I have it for where their clothes go. I have it for where their stuff should go in the garage, because kids, remember, process. Or we all, this is not just kids, all of us, even the volunteers need to know where these toys go. We process colors and pictures first and words last. Use graphics for organizing materials. Maybe your resource room in your kids' ministry is in shambles. Now's the time to organize it and use a lot of pictures and graphics so that whoever rolls up in there, if they got to look for extra pencils or extra Play-Doh, they already know where to go as well. Make it easy for them. Flyers, use graphics for flyers, new volunteer orientations, posting songs throughout the room. If your kids sing, if the preschoolers sing the same song every week, post that song on a poster somewhere in the room. Put bathroom procedures on the bathroom doors of the entrances. Have flyers and forms ready for new families, because they're giving you their most precious thing, which is their kid. They can't just replace that kid at Amazon. So create graphics for new families that explain your procedures, your safety procedures, all those sorts of things. So we're in 16 minutes in this workshop so far. If you have any questions, I want you to write it in the chat box or in the comments down below. Maybe I didn't go over this. If you wanted some of my freebies, go ahead and scan that QR code. Everything, I've recently had to switch websites. My new website, everything's for free. Get in on it while you can. I don't know if I'm going to have to change the pricing for it, but for now it's all free. So let's stop right here and let's make something. So what do you want to make? Let me show you how I go from clunky to clean and the different choices I make. Now that you have these different, tips from me in here, let's make something together. Now, as of now, this is the month of February. Let's make a Easter flyer together, okay? So as you can see on my screen, here's my Canva layout right here. I have Canva Pro now, so that way I can send other people templates to use for free. But I went about a year or two using the free version of Canva. So let me show you how to make something free in Canva. Up here it says, what will you design today? I don't want to go through my designs. I want to show you how to alter templates to save you time. So let's put in Easter flyer or an egg hunt flyer. As you can see, some of these. Now, if we're designing for churches, I'm not going to preach Easter eggs and bunnies on Easter. That's not what Easter's about. I'm going to teach about Jesus. I'm going to still have it be fun for kids. But as you can see in this top section of Canva, it's a lot of bunnies and eggs. Even down here, this one's pretty good. I like this. This one is cool too, but it screams that your grandma's going to church, not that it's for kids. So another thing I would see is, oh, this one's not bad. You can just delete the bunnies. But honestly, knowing my church's current graphic design style, I would say that this one right here with the pink bunny is going to be the best bet, but I'm not going to have the bunny there. I'm going to switch out and alter that bunny out. This one's pretty cool too, but it looks like it's for moms and there's an egg on there. We could replace that with the cross, but I don't think so. All right, I'm going to stick with this one. I'm going to click on it. Oh, I forgot to mention that anything that has a cross in the lower right corner of that template means that it is a premium template only available with the Canva Pro plan. This one I have right here, look, there's no crown, which means that it is for free. So let's customize this. I would take this bunny, a adios bunny, right here. I would write your church name presents Easter egg hunt Saturday. Most of these places and events, if somebody's never set foot in a church before, they might not know that it's free. And I would write free event on with the date. Down here in the phone number, I'd write for kids ages 2 to 12. You could put your church's website right there, church's address. Oh, we don't have on here too? Time. Maybe if you have multiple services, time. This lets people know that they got options. So if you want them to come Saturday, keep it at Saturday. Maybe if you have 3 times on Sunday, keep it on Sunday. Okay. Now we need a new picture. Remember, the kids' brains are seeing pastels. They're going to know. Everybody sees pastels and they know, okay, this is springtime designs. Now it's time to look for a cross. Crowns, remember, all the crowns mean that it's a paid item. I earlier accidentally recorded this whole thing and did not have audio. So I found a cross that I liked and it took a while to get to it. So let's find that cross again, shall we? Here it is. It's free. So I loved how this turned out. I go to the corners. Boom. Now the danger zone just means that when you print it, it might not print all the way there. That's okay. I really liked how this went. Also, egg hunt. You could keep it at egg hunt, or you could do kids Easter party, or kids event, Easter kids event at this church. You could say that you could change the wording for anything. Some people are real touchy on wording, but that is not me. So here we go. We're going to call this Easter flyer. We'll say free Easter flyer. That way, whoever sees this recording can access it later. Now, this is how you save it or share it. You click share in the top right corner, you click download. You can save it as a PNG, you can save it as a PDF. If you do save it as a PDF, you need to be careful, because if you open in Adobe and you don't have these fonts right here, this font's called Vintage Goods, this one's called Barlow semi-condensed. This one's Barlow as well. This one's Barlow. So cool. Okay, we have 2 fonts in here. 2 fonts. Rule of 3, you have Easter in cursive, kids event right there. Remember what I said about cursive? I shouldn't use it for kids, but honestly, I'm using it right here. I think the kids will probably know. And it's for parents to take the kids to this Easter event. So I would make an exception for certain holidays. That's when people use a lot of cursive, but oh well. So if you save it as a PDF, when you go to open it in your computer or phone, it might change the font. So if you don't want the fonts to change, I recommend saving it as a PNG. After you save it as a PNG, just click download and it will come to your computer. You can email it, you can text it, you can print it out from a PNG also. So that just took us under 5 minutes. Right now, this recording's been going on for 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So yes, so that is what I do to create designs for parents. I don't do a lot of from scratch designing anymore, because I want to spend more of my time with my kids, with the kids in my ministry, and with people. I just tweak, I alter a lot. And if there's something I want made that isn't out there, I try to find ways on how to create it. There's something that I made that was a Bible book. Making books where you just print it, staple the sides, and then leave. That was really tricky. I have a separate video that could totally be a separate workshop in how to create those books, and I'll have the link in the description for you to check that one out. I've been creating journals because it's been really fun for kids. Same thing. Print it out, fold it in half, staple it, and then the journal's ready to go. It was a gratitude journal, a Christmas book, a Jesus's baby book for preschoolers, and it was just great. So sky's the limit with these designs. If you are struggling and there's something that you are trying to make, but you just haven't found a method to do it, I want to recommend that you check out my Expo and Bible Creative Conference, because I help people in real time in making designs, but it's only for that event only. If you want, you could send me an email. My email's down below. It's hannah@tikkidschurch.com. I would love to give you an advice that I have, but honestly, I'm limited. So research in Canva certain templates. That way you can get things made for your kids' ministry and create for the Creator, God, the ultimate creator, and give his name glory. So I hope that has helped you. If you have any questions, reach out to me, but have an awesome Sunday spending it on who matters and pointing kids to Jesus, because it is a great day to tell kids about Jesus. And I will see you next time. Bye.